set of earnings on a year-on-year basis. In fact, quarter-on-quarter, there's been a slight bit of improvement, but year-on-year revenues are down 61%. Hariprakash Pandey, the Vice President Finance of HDIL, joins us now to talk about that. Mr. Pandey, before I ask you about your earnings, the one thing that has sort of enthused the street is the way your debt has been coming down over the past couple of years. In this quarter as well, your debt has fallen to around 2340 odd crores. Can you tell me what kind of debt reduction plans do you have by the end of FY18? Where do we see the debt and how do you plan to reduce it?
Thank you, Sonia. Yes, we have focused a lot on debt reduction in the last 2 years. So, as we move ahead in the next financial year, we plan to bring down our debt to somewhere around 1500 crores. And most of this reduction will happen through the internal accruals because our residential business is cash flow positive on an operating basis. So most of the operating cash flows will go towards retiring the debt. And by the end of FY18, we should see a number somewhere closer to 1500 crores on the consolidated debt level basis.
Okay. Mr. Pandey, good morning. Can you give us some ideas about your unsold inventory? How much of area sales, volume sales happened in the fourth quarter, and you will have a fair idea of the current quarter as well. So how has the inventory moved down?
Good morning, Lata. In terms of the pre-sales, as we all know, the third quarter was very muted. We were only able to record around 76 crores of pre-sales. And in fourth quarter, after 15th of Feb, the thing started to improve. And our numbers were around 160 crores on pre-sales. But still, if we remove last 2 quarters, we were doing a pre-sales of somewhere around 250 crores. In the first quarter of this year, we started our new vertical called Budget Homes. And the first project, The Nest, was like we launched around 250 apartments and we were able to sell around 80%. So things are stabilizing. We are coming back to the number of around 250 crores. Probably will take 1 more quarters to reach that number. But the things are much more stabilizing as compared to the third quarter.
Okay. Mr. Pandey, good morning. That is something I was coming at, this Budget Homes. First of all, where are these homes, 45 to 60 lakh in Mumbai? And, how much do you think this is going to contribute from here on?
The first project which we have launched was in Mulund on the LBS mark. The apartment size were approximately around close to 500 square feet. And the ticket size started at 45 lakhs. In the same project, we are starting a second phase after completing the RERA registration next month, wherein again we'll open up around 250 apartments. We planned this year somewhere around close to 1500 apartments under this vertical, and the project should be spread between Ghatkopar, Goregaon, and Kurla. So these are the locations where we potentially look to launch the projects. The apartment size would be typically between 450 to 500 square feet. And the ticket size would be approximately between 45 to 60 lakhs rupees.
These will be eligible for affordable housing scheme subventions?
Yes, these are eligible for the affordable housing scheme.
How has the response been? Have you been able to move people who have come to book the house and get the banks to put them under the subvention scheme? Is that process working smoothly?
Yes, that process working smoothly. In fact, in the new project, more than 85% of the people are eligible to take that subvention scheme. The banks have been responding very well. The process has improved due to Aadhaar linking. And most of the people are eligible to get this benefit. So yes, the process has been working well.
Okay. You told us about that plan to reduce your debt by 35% by the end of FY18 to about 1500 crores. The stock is reacting to that news piece. So I just want to understand more about that. How do you plan to reduce it? Will you be selling any of your assets, or will it be driven by FSI sales in places like Virar, etc.?
Yes, we would be selling some FSI sales. We did our first FSI sale from the Planet HDIL project Virar. We have been investing a lot in infrastructure there, so we concluded the first transaction in the Q4. So yes, FSI sale would be one of the verticals as we move ahead. But what we also did in the last 2 years is that we continuously focused on the construction. So most of our projects are now cash flow positive. So we just need to put more focus on selling those projects. And I think with the internal accruals and FSI sale, I think this number is achievable.
So what's the quantum of FSI sales that you could do from Planet HDIL over the next, say, 2-3 quarters?
We target around 1 million square feet every quarter. But since this is a land sale, it's difficult to do every quarter actually. But normally we target at least 1 million square feet every quarter.
How many unfinished projects you have?
We have 5 unfinished projects in Bombay as of now.
Okay. Now, I'm asking you because now you will have to register them under RERA if the completion certificate doesn't come by July 1st, isn't it? So will that mean extra cost in terms of having to shell out to consumers for delayed home delivery?
Not an extra cost. Yes, there is a new compensation clause in the RERA agreement.
Yes.
So that needs to be adhered to actually. What it is happening is that for a couple of months, everybody is getting into the registration queue with RERA. But the process is very streamlined. We have already submitted an application for a couple of our projects, and we are in the process of submitting application for other projects also. It is also for all the projects wherein we have not obtained the OC, occupation certificate. So yes, for a couple of months there will be a slight disruption. But yes, the compensation clause is now compulsorily needs to be put into the RERA, into the new agreements. And we are incorporating it everywhere.
Okay, Mr. Pandey, we'll let you go on that note. Thanks for joining us. That's HDIL. But IRB's numbers